Good evening. Welcome to the 12 Man Podcast, live on Facebook, on Spotify, Deezer, Amazon, all the good places to listen to your podcast and your weekly instalments of your favourite Borough lads. You got me as your main host. I'm going to stick with main host. I'm just going to stick with it now. I've said it for weeks now. It's going to have to stick with it. He's your Steve Jackson. I'm here as usual, talking you through all things Borough. I've got Mr. John Donovan with me. Evening, John Don.
Evening. All right.
Yes. Recovered from Saturday?
Yeah. Fine.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll talk about Saturday. Cracking day. I think we had everything happen on Saturday. It was great. But we'll talk about that. And Mr. James Algana's with us. Evening, Dally.
How are you doing? All right. I do have to apologise because it looks as though I've pinched this glass because I've just bought a drink through the show and it's still got the sticker on. But I promise you I haven't been on the Robin Morrisons.
Oh, what a start.
Big bang on the door. Big red key opening his front door.
There you go. Your favourite Borough lads doing what Borough lads do best. Right. So we're going to talk about Oxford. Very eventful day. A new ground for 1,500 of us or so that went to tick off. Well, I say 1,500 or so. There was a little band of few that didn't quite get there. We'll talk about that though. We'll talk about our 6-goal haul, first time away from home since 1960. If you can tell me which game it was, I'll be amazed. I know which game it is. I'll tell you in a little while. And we'll talk about the 2 games coming up this week. Home double header, 2 very winnable games. Blackburn and Hull. Is this the time we really put our foot on the gas and start our promotion charge? But we'll go through all that, and we'll go through all your comments and everything you're going to say about what we're going to say in the next 60 minutes. So before we start, boys, are we all right?
Yeah, very good.
Spot on.
Good. Right then, John Dom. 8 o'clock, set off on Saturday morning. Nice early start. Lots of wintry showers about. But it was about half an hour in. We were all sat and we thought, we're not going very far here. And I don't know about you. The first time I got worried is when I saw Jason get out of his chair. I thought, well, hang on, he's driving.
Yeah.
But,
that's right. That's right. Yeah. We ground to a halt on the A19. And as we found out when we eventually got moving again, there was a lorry that had found the snow a bit difficult, and it had lost control. The driver had lost control, and it had blocked a couple of lanes. So yeah, we were just sat there waiting for 30 odd minutes until it was sorted out. But but once we were past that, we carried on the A1 with a little bit of snow. Further we got south, it turned to rain, and then it was just a straightforward journey after that. But yeah, there was a period in time. I was like you, thinking, "Oh Jesus, we're going to be we're going to be stuck here for hours." But it wasn't to be. Well, we had a slight delay, but we got there eventually. Jason, patience, calmness, got us through like he always does.
Yes. But yeah, it was definitely the only time I got worried when I saw Jason having to walk around the aisle. I thought, well, I'm pretty sure I've not drank that much yet. And he was in the driving seat. So I thought, oh, God, we're in trouble here. But no, you're right. The 2 lads they did really well. They were really good with us, as usual. Changing pub. Obviously, we went to... Where did we go? Was it where we went to see Boris Johnson at the Checkers?
Yeah, Checkers, yeah.
He wasn't in, though.
We were booked. Nah, we were booked in one in Vista. But because of the delay, we wouldn't have had enough time in there to, shall we say, enjoy ourselves. So we hastily made arrangements. I rang the pub up, told them we couldn't make it, and apologised. And then we went through our sort of pub directory, and found a pub closer to Oxford that would take us in and would give us just over an hour's drinking time, which is more than enough. It was good. We were all right. We were good. We sorted it. with Teessiders, you'd overcome adversity, don't you?
It's what we do, isn't it? It's what we do. So yeah, it was different. It was nice little pub. But let's not dwell on what we did and our antics.
It was it was too posh for us, that pub. It was too posh for us. I mean, so don't get me wrong. I mean, we're not sort of a bunch of louts, but I don't think that they'd ever seen sort of a group of football fans before, and it was a bit of a shock to them. But everybody behaved themselves. We put plenty of money over the bar, and it was good.
Yeah, I don't think they've seen the likes of Craig Fletcher before, so there's something for them. I bet that was a bit of a shock to the system, bless him. Well, I'll have a chat about Fletcher in a little bit because of the 8 goals we saw, he didn't see many of them. So I'll tell you why. It wasn't anything bad, trust me. But right, team came out 2:00. There was little rumours, wasn't there, John, about was there a problem with Seni? Which then obviously came to fruition. Solberg came in his first league start. We fully expected McGree not to start because of what Rye told us last week. But apart from that, we were pretty much obviously Morris and Hackney. We knew they weren't going to start. So Howson and Barlasser came in. But apart from that, I think that 11 that we picked was about the 11 that we were all expecting on that bus, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I was pleased when I saw Doak involved. I wasn't too sure whether or not his couple of games for Scotland might have just sort of like put him on the verge of having to miss out, because the club have got to manage him carefully. I mean, he had a really, really serious illness, and if you rush or shall we say push too much people, they can break down with different injuries. So the club are managing it quite well. So I was pleased to see his name on the team sheet, and we all know the impact he had.
Yeah, I think looking at their team as well, obviously they were expecting it with the 2 left backs that they played with Gregley and what was the other one? Kieran Brown, I think they played as well at left back. So they doubled up. They knew what was going to happen. But Danny, what did you make of the team Saturday afternoon when you saw it?
Yeah, it was just the goalkeeping situation that kind of jumped out at me. I was hoping that Riley McGree would start, but again, he's just come back from Australia, hasn't he? And I didn't after the last international break. I don't think he started the immediate game back. Plus, obviously, with what Rai was saying, so yeah, it was just the goalkeeping situation that jumped out at me. But he's still confident and hopeful enough. It's enough to to see the boys through on a win.
That's it. I'm gonna say, I don't want to pay any disrespect to Oxford. I mean, spoiler alert, as we go on, I will get a bit more disrespectful about them. But I still thought what we had out, we should be beating these very comfortably. I thought the 3-1 scorelines that majority of us went for was comfortable. I thought it was a pretty good shout. But when we got in the ground, John, Don, the conditions were they were awful, weren't they? I mean, obviously the one stand missing paid a huge impact. Windy, rainy, not the most ideal place to be making your league debut. I don't know what Solberg must have been thinking. A few nerves, but it was terrible conditions, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've all played in those conditions, just sort of obviously on a Sunday league standard, but for a goalkeeper, it's you've got a strong wind with rain sort of virtually horizontal because of the wind. It's not ideal, but I thought he handled himself really well. I thought he had a fine game.
He did. I mean, we'll go through some of the highlights that he had. I thought he made some fantastic saves, and he made one crucial intervention as well at 1-1. But we'll dive into the game. I thought the conditions played a big part in the start. Very cagey. We started taking a bit of control. Once we got the ball on the floor, I thought the ball floated about a bit. But I'll let you have your first say on the first goal, Dally, their goal. 2 big mistakes for me. I say Ailing letting his guy go to the back post to square it across, and then Barlasser letting Gregley go in the middle. That was I mean, we were bang on line with it the away end, and I was not impressed with that goal at all.
Yeah, it was for 20 minutes. I'll be honest with you. When you look at the scoreline at the end, for 20, 25 minutes, I didn't quite feel it was going to be our day. I know Bergzorg was having a bit of luck down the wing, but then you just they started to get a little bit of possession for a few minutes before the goal, and you start thinking, oh, here we go. You say the conditions will play a part, they'll be used to it. They get the corner, like you say, man at the back post, but then Barlas are losing his man in the centre of the 6-yard box. All he has to do is put it on target. And it's 1-0, and you start thinking, here we go. Are we missing Morris? Are we missing, Riley McGree? We're missing that in the midfield. Obviously, we managed to turn it around pretty quickly, but it was so frustrating to see the 2 mistakes. Obviously, it's easy to point out the Dan Barlaser one, but we've got to defend better at times.
Yeah. I mean, usually this season we haven't been too bad from set pieces, to be quite honest. We've been quite solid, so it was quite a bit of a shock when the goal went in the way it did. I just thought conditions played a massive part in the way the ball went in. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things. But I'll stay with you, Dally, because the way you described this penalty incident was brilliant. So I'll hand you over.
Yeah, it was
Side of the ground, or the home side, thought this wasn't a penalty. It was the first time Ben Duck got a proper run at Kieran Brown. He got round Greg Lee, and then obviously Elliot Moore, Kieran absolutely knocked him into next week. But their fans would say it's not a penalty. Are they blind? I mean, are they actually blind?
Well, I think the referee was very quick to act. He was no hesitation in his mind that it was a penalty. It looked in the initial angle that I saw it on. Was he still on the pitch? Was he off the pitch? But when you see the camera angle from behind the goal, the captain doesn't even attempt to go for the ball. He knows where Ben Doug's going, and he's just there to take him out. He was lucky to stay on the pitch. For me, he should be on a 3-year ban and order. He should be in court on Monday. It was that bad a tackle. And the best thing was the Oxford commentary was saying that it was never a penalty. I don't know what they're smoking them universities, but yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we felt in the way, and John Don that it was an absolute stone wall. We didn't know how far he was close to the bar line, obviously from where we were stood. I think you were a bit higher than I was in that away end, but he had no look for the ball. You could see he was running exactly towards his direction. I'm just so glad the referee had a bit of something about him to say it's a stonewall penalty. There's no ifs or buts.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get the best of views because where I was, there was a few players in my line of sight. But Dally's described it perfectly when I've seen it on the highlights. The guy just comes in with no intention of looking at the ball. He was just taking out our danger man. And I was really concerned at the time because Ben Doak went clattering into the boards behind the goal, and I was really worried that it was more serious. But thankfully, after a bit of treatment, he was up and about again. But yeah, the Stonewall penalty, 3-year ban and order, and yeah, that would have made me happy.
Well, the 3-year ban and order.
Yeah, for the defender, definitely. Yeah, football violence.
Yes, it was. It was a disgraceful tackle. I mean, it was just the fact that there was fans in the ground saying, it was nowhere near a penalty. Ball was already out of play, whatever it may be. I'm sorry, but you must be daft. You must be. I know they play a lot of rugby at Oxford University, but stick to it. Just stick to that because you haven't got a clue about football. But I felt after that, John Don, I felt the wind change. If you get me.
Yeah.
Obviously, you won't get me because it's not hard. It's not a hard euphemism, is it? But you know what I mean. I felt after that we were completely dominant. And it's like that took them back a little bit, and we just hit him with everything we had. And every time we hit him on the break, I thought we were going to score, and it just turned. It happened with the second goal, which was our talisman again, our number 10. I saw a post. Was it yesterday? We call him. Is it Zinedine Azaz? Someone called him Finiesta. Yeah, but what a finish! What a break! And it was all three of them: Bergzorg, Batilaf, Azaz, goal.
Yeah. We needed to get back into the game, and obviously that superb run by Ben Doak and the resultant penalty got us back level. We could reset, start again, and I agree with you. From that point, we were just in control of all areas of the pitch, to be honest. And not long after, we got the second goal. Cool finish, set up by Lath. Cool finish. And Azaz, well, what can I say? I like him. I've always liked him. He has his critics because he tries something creative. He's got that something about him. And if it doesn't come off, so what? He'll try it again. And I think now that our forward line are getting more and more in tune with him, so that they're getting in the right places, and he can find them all the time. He's having a great spell at the moment.
I've been I was one of those critics. I'll hold my hands up. I think the football he's playing at the minute, you could say he's done it all season, but I think the way that the team are playing at the minute, it just complements his game so much more. The criticism I think maybe has come certainly from myself in those games where we were struggling and we needed to have a bit of a dogfight. Sometimes I felt maybe he's going missing a little bit. But in all fairness, when you have got a player with the qualities he has, you need to be attacking. He doesn't want to be defending. Everything he's touching at the minute, touch wood, is turning to goals. You look at his assist numbers. The link up play he's got with Lath it's almost reminiscent of Ryan Giles with Akpom. The way that he knows where he's going to be, and if you look at some of the balls he's putting through to Lath's not bothered. Lath must have clearly said to him, "Put it in the air if you want. I'll bring it down." You look at the goal again. The goal he scored for Luton. Goal he scored against Luton. The goal he scored again is for his hat trick. The ball he's took in the air. So credit where credit's due, because there have been times I've looked at Finn Azaz and thought, do you warrant your place in the team? But at the minute he's absolutely flying and he's making us tick from all angles.
Well, that's it. I mean, we've said, haven't we? I think the problem's been trying to find his right position, and I think now he's found a place where he's settled. He's linking with all parts of the play, and he just looks so comfortable. Like he's not. It looks effortless. He's doing it with ease, and I think that's the class of the lad. I think there's just so much more to come. But Jason's always on the ball, isn't he? He's just put a comment there. It just shows the difference a penalty makes. Conway at Norwich and Lath at Oxford just shows the different scoring one makes. And he's absolutely right. Because I thought the turning point was that penalty, because after that we were brilliant. But another clanger from Oxford and probably their commentators, the third goal, they're appealing offside. Are they having a laugh? They just stood there synchronised, hands up, and I thought, I can see from where I am, that's not offside. I mean, he's made the break. The line is literally the 18-yard box as well when you see the replay. I honestly don't know what they're looking at. But give credit where credit's due. Great ball from Azaz, great finish from Lath, and that link-up you were talking about again, Dally, is there for everyone to see. Them two at the moment, these teams are going to struggle to stop them, though.
Play the whistle, don't you? He's gone through, and it was a tidy finish, and he's made it look easy. I think at that point it was starting to become that, wasn't it? I think Oxford just completely capitulated, and they're just completely down tools. And we were Finn Azaz was finding big gaps in that defence, to play his through balls. So yeah, cool finish, never offside. And we went into half time with a decent lead.
Yeah, never
The
offside.
thing, the thing is, I mean, he's got the pace. He can play off the shoulder. Lath, he doesn't need to sort of from a standing start. He's got that pace. He can stand on the shoulder and then go. And it was a great finish. I mean, he scored 3 on Saturday, 2 left foot, 1 right. He scored them with his head, against Sheffield United. He's in a rich vein of form at the moment. I know he had a slow start to the season, but we saw last season how good he can be. And I just hope that this form that he's in now continues, because we just have to hope that come January, if he's still scoring, that Souters can't get in touch with his agent. Somebody should be smashing his phone up or sending him on a holiday so that he's not enticed away from us.
Well, yeah, I'll talk in a little bit about who was there to watch Latte Laugh apparently on Saturday. So he's gaining suitors all over the country, and rightfully so as well. I mean, you were talking there about his header against Sheffield United. You remember when he scored last season against Leeds? There was a point in the first half. Yeah, and Southampton as well. There was a point in the first half he tried it. I know he went a bit wide, but their keeper didn't have flap at it, because I saw the ball loop and I thought he's done it again. I thought he's done him again, but unfortunately he did go wide. But it just shows the confidence of the boy. But
yeah,
half time came, 3-1 up. I looked at my phone. I thought, I've got 3 bets in here. How have we done this? And I thought, you know what? Yeah, just keep it solid, keep it nice and simple. Second half, just see the game out. Conditions were getting a bit worse. It was a bit colder, but we came out second half, John Don. 1 ball again, 1 bounce, bang, 4-1, and we just picked up where we left off. I thought half time came at the wrong time, but it just seems like it made no difference because we just got stuck into them again.
No, it was again as to laugh that that understanding that Dally's talked about, that is growing. And yeah, another great finish, left foot, another great finish, 4-1. That's his hat trick. He's over the moon. The Borough fans are jumping for joy. Those in the concourse who were still finishing the drinks, and those in the stand who'd made it up there, and also the coach load who just got in at half time. Yeah, I know you're going to speak about that later. But it's fantastic. I mean, most people know it, but Oxford at home had only conceded 5 goals all season, and within under 50 minutes we'd smashed 4 past them. So yeah, great start to the second half.
It was, because yeah, right. They say they've only been beaten once at home all season. Conceded 5 goals. 6 goals. No, 5. You did say 5, didn't you? Like you said. They were tough to beat at home. I thought it could be a tricky away trip, this, with all the conditions and everything going on around it. I thought, if we can get out of here with any sort of a win, I thought, that'll do. Get us on, keep us on our run. But we just absolutely tore them to bits. I mean, Andy Johnson just popped up with a comment there. I thought Borges is getting stronger by every game. I want to talk about his tackle, right? His tackle was an absolute beaut. I don't care if he took the man out, right? Everybody thinks he's a bit of a, he steps out on a 50-50. But Dally, that tackle, he was saying, I don't care if that ball goes, I'm having you. And he just absolutely wiped him out. And the funny thing was, their players were straight on it saying that's a red card. I'm not being funny, half an hour earlier, there was nowhere near a red card. So, pick your argument. But I thought it was a great tackle to get stuck into.
Yeah, he is getting better and better. And fair play to him.
You'll have to come up with a song for him, Dally.
Been caught around Morrison singing it when it was on. basketball singing because you're Borges.
Quality. Well, that's stuck, hasn't it? It's stuck.
I'd do anything for you.
I know. But they got. They say they, they weathered the storm. No pun intended. And then they got the ball in the net 4-2. Dane Scarlett scored on loan from Spurs. Tidy little finish. It's the only time I was really disappointed with Sol Bryn, to be quite honest, because it was within his grasp and he let go underneath him. That's me being harsh, I know. But that's just how well he played. I was just a little bit disappointed that he went in, and I thought, "Oh God, here we go," kind of thing. But,
yeah, I mean, it was well struck. It lashed in. It sort of skimmed in front, just in front of him, and yeah, it was a well taken goal. Maybe if the game had been a bit closer, we could have been a bit more critical. But I'm not going to. You look at how the game went, and I'm not going to sort of raise any sort of concerns about that.
No, definitely not. That's just me being, massively finding something to be critical about. Because there was so many positives to come out of Saturday's performance, and and everything we got out of it. But it did give him a little bit of confidence. But the subs we made, it just showed how strong the bench was. Again, we managed to give Ben Doak a little bit of a break. Latte Laugh got his round of applause. Finners has. He was allowed to link up with Tommy Conway again. And that link up again caused goal number 5 because he cut in nicely, Tommy Conway. And the finish, if I was critical of their keeper, I'd be focusing on your front post. How many times did he get beat at his front post? No keeper should get beat there. He got beat there, I think, 5 of the 6 goals. Not great.
I think he sent about 5 of their players to the shop when he hit that when he put the ball in the bottom corner. He completely done. Yeah, he must have done for the defenders and the keeper. It was a really good finish, and you know what? It's brilliant to have, as Carrick touched on in his interview afterwards, the front attacking players that they're all chipping in with goals. Bergzog last week, a couple of weeks ago, Finners is getting his name on the sheet. You've got Tommy Conway, you've got Lath. It's brilliant that the goals are coming from right across the team. Where we've touched on Lath, and I know you're going to touch on who was watching Lath, and you're coming up to January. You think, really, we don't want to lose anyone, but if it makes business sense, and you like to think Gibson will say, no, we're so close at the minute. But if you did lose one, you know that there's still goals coming from the rest of the team.
Yeah. I think
every player's got a price.
Yeah.
Every player's got a price. And like you say, if a club comes in for any of our players with the price that the club accept, if the price that the club think is acceptable, that was difficult for me to get through there. Then obviously the deal will be done. Go on, move on.
Oh no, I was enjoying that. No, but you are absolutely right. Every player's got his price, and there'll be numbers within the directors' room where if clubs do reach that valuation, then they're going to have a conversation. They're going to have a think about it. But like you said, Dally,
don't want to see it happen. Don't want to see it happen. I know that, but let's be realistic. As long as Kieran Scott and the team have got a backup plan should anything like that happen to one of our players, then let's see what happens in January.
Yeah, I think but I think our position plays in our advantage as well. All these Premier League teams, mid-table kind of teams that are looking at our players, you can just put the proposal to our players. Give us 6 months. 6 months, you won't even need to think about, how can I get my Premier League move? You've already got it. We've made that step up. We've made that move ourselves, so you don't have to think about it.
And you're part of it as well. So
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
You heard Lath's agent speaking to Craig Johns, and he basically said that Lath was excited by the chance of playing Premier League, which I suppose any player does want to be at the top level in his profession. and the money that he could have earned for the move. So I fully understand, that it's a business where money talks. I hope it doesn't happen to any of our players, because, like I say, the way we're playing at the moment, the way we've been playing the majority of the season, footballing wise, is been okay. It's been good. It's sort of notched up the gear recently, but it would be a shame to throw a spanner in the works by losing one of our better players. But let's not worry about that until January comes along and see what happens then.
Yeah, too true.
Yeah, exactly. It just shows that we are doing well. But just to round things off, obviously, Finners has got his second of the game. I'm just looking at his stats. He's had an absolutely brilliant start of the season. Obviously, playing 16 games, 5 goals, 7 assists. It looks like like we said, he's found his place, and his numbers are starting to match the performances he's had. All our players are finding form at the perfect time. Usually, we have players that will find a little bit of form, and someone else will find a bit of form. It's like we've all just clicked and went, right, let's do this, and we've hit another wave of, it's like we've gone into third gear. I still think there's more to come from this team. I really do. There's so much more we could have improved on Saturday. There's so many players that can still come back in. We've mentioned Hackley, we've mentioned Morris. We've not Dieng, Vandenberg, Lenahan. McGree was on the bench. Force. He got 15, 20 minutes as well on Saturday. There's so many players that are still there that are not, players that just fill in every now and then. These are, first team players that have played first team football for the Borough. Our squad, and I'll put my neck on the line, our squad, for me, is the best in the Championship. I really believe it. There's no team that can cope with us. Yes, we're going to have teams that are going to test us in the next few weeks. But we've got everything. We've got everything in every position. I even started to think our left-back position is not as weak as we all thought it was. It looks solid now.
If you'll carry on, Steve, I think I'm going to run through this wall in a minute.
Get done. Get on camera.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, you look at also the age of those players. McGree was 24, 25. Azaz 20, 24. Lath, Tommy Conway, Aidan Morris, Aidan Hackney, all young players, all young talent. It's at the moment it's exciting. Let's keep our feet on the ground, because it's easy for Borough fans to absolutely pull our team to bits and slate them after a couple of bad results, and then go the opposite way when we get a couple of good results and say that we're the best team by a long stretch. Well, we're in the middle of a good run. I don't want to sort of like bring anybody down, but let's just keep grounded. Let's keep grounded. Let's have patience in games. Let's have patience. At the end of the day, it's November. Nothing's won in November. We've just got to keep plugging away. Sorry if I sound like you Captain Sensible.
I'm not running through the wall now. Jesus Christ, John.
He's putting the bricks back up.
Well, yeah. Dally, I was thinking about you.
You say that though. I mean, if you look at the way Leeds celebrated their win at Swansea yesterday, you thought they'd won the league. Just saying.
Well, that was the type of game, though, wasn't it? Peg back to 3-3, and then go and win it a couple of minutes later.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to celebrate like mad there, aren't you?
Yeah. I think when you look at the way the table is in the Championship, I mean, you all know it's crazy. You look at the gap now; it's 5 points to Sunderland. Before obviously the Leeds game, I know it's still 5 points, but you look at it when Sunderland concede late on, and you look and you go, oh right, okay, like in a week's time we could be above them. Results go right, and we're right in the mix. So we've got the points. We're starting to get a bit of consistency. Got 2 huge games in the next 5 days, and then we go Go Burnley, don't we, on the Friday, and then Leeds midweek. So, get the points on the board. I know Jack Dobson's put on the comments there, it's important to get 2 wins this week before we go into the Burnley and Leeds away. I think if you go into them with full points, you then start to look like contenders, and Cuts has touched on a few times. He still backed us for the top 2. You're going into Christmas in a good position.
That's it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was, we've all said it's coming. We've all said we'll start giving teams a bit of a batter about. I never expected 15 goals in 3 games, I will fully admit. But none of them scores, the best part of it, none of them scores have flattered them teams. We think, God, 6 has flattered the Borough there. Honestly, if we had got our act together, we could hit 8 or 9 on Saturday. Because there was chances that we had. We hit the post, a couple of saves from the keeper, a couple of passes that went astray in the final third. If we put everything together, this will become a regular occurrence, which is so exciting to watch. Anybody calls us boring is daft. I'll put that right on the line now.
The thing is, Steve, we've played better than we did on Saturday in some games.
Oh yeah,
early on the season, we played better and not got scorelines like that, or not even got the win. But it's pleasing to see, and I'm really pleased to read all the positive comments on social media. Hear so many people on different podcasts and different radio shows being upbeat now and talking about moving up the table rather than hearing all the moans and groans.
Exactly. Are you not entertained? Of course you are. Put the boring chat away. No, you're absolutely right. I'll come too quickly to your man of the matches, and then keep Jack Dobson in your head. He's got some stuff out and about that John Don's got his hands on. So we'll tell you about that in a little minute. Dali, I'll start with you. Your man of the match. It was quite a difficult one, this one, but I've got a clear winner in my head.
I think it's got to be Azaz. I know Lath scores a hat-trick. I think that first goal by Azaz was absolutely outstanding. The way he just passed it into the corner. The assist he was involved in, and then the second goal was brilliant as well. Like I say, I was his biggest critic earlier on in the season, but he certainly won us round. Yeah,
John Don, come at you.
Lath. It was touch and go, obviously, because those 2 players, Lath and what has Dali mentioned there, as were outstanding. But there was other good performances as well. But for me, hat-trick, 3 goals, take the ball home, have a bath, drink champagne, and get John Donovan's Man of the Match award.
How do you follow that up? Everybody's now sat there thinking of Latte Laugh in the bath with his match winning ball.
Hey, that rhymes. Is there a song there? I don't know. We'll have a think about that.
Speaking of players that got a song, Mr. Dan Barlaser finally got one, which he spoke about with the club. He was a bit confused. He was thinking they're actually singing about me, and he looked absolutely delighted. But following the first goal going
in the winter.
I know, we're singing Christmas songs there, it's great. But following the first goal, though, I thought Barlaser was brilliant. I thought him and Howson were excellent. I found it tough going at the start, but once they settled in and got hold of the ball, got the ball on the floor for a start, which just looked a different class. We looked a different grade above our Oxford. I don't want to be too disrespectful, but they were an absolute shower. I'm sorry, they were so bad. So bad. Like, some of the stuff they were doing, I thought, you can see where you've come from. I'm sorry. But, yeah, we move on from them. We've done our bit. It's just exciting to see the Borough the way they are at the moment, isn't it? So, but, just before I start talking about the upcoming week's games, 2 massive games coming, by the way.
Steve, can I just stop you? Can you give us your man of the match?
Oh, no, yeah. My was Finazaz. I thought Finazaz was brilliant.
All right then. Okay.
I know that's it. I've scored his hat-trick and drank his champagne in his big bath. But yeah, Finazaz he controlled everything about the game. He was the talisman. He was focal point, and he did everything right in that game. So I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 assists he had, but he was brilliant, wasn't he? So yeah, I couldn't look away from him, unfortunately. So sorry, Manu. But I'm going to use you now, Jonathan. You've got something given by one of the lads off the bus. He started his new little venture. Just some daft Borough stickers. He's got some new stickers coming out as well. Go on then, Dolly. Do your dealing.
I have them here. I hope you can see them. There's a selection that Jack has handed me to show you, and I like that one.
Yeah, I like that one.
I like that one.
I think he likes them all.
Like that one.
That one. Baldini, class. And then the gangster. So yeah, Jack's got some of these designed and made, and he's given them a pack to us to give away to some lucky listener.
Yes. So if you can, send in your predictions for, I won't say Wednesday because it's a bit too soon to pile them all in. For Saturday for Hull, we'll go through them at the weekend and we'll pick you winning next Monday. But give him a follow on Facebook, on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. He's got some great stickers coming out. He showed me a selection of them on Saturday night in between drinks, which there was many of. So yeah, well, he's got some really good stickers coming out. So he'll give him a shout. He'll sort it out with a pack.
So how do we find him on Twitter then, Jacko? What is it? Good
question. You've absolutely rumbled me there. Use the search function. Search Jack Dobson. You will find him. He's popular enough. He's on Facebook. He's on Twitter or X or whatever it is. So
we'll put it up anyway, won't we?
Your big already gone 4-0. So
you better stop putting it up, John, because some Jack Dobson in bloody Switzerland on holiday will be getting loads of messages like.
Who is this Middlesbrough?
I'm in Switzerland. I'm from Portsmouth. What's going on?
Look, if you really want to insist, right, on X, he's at Jack Dobson 93. All right.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Proper publicity.
And Jack, you owe me another pack of stickers. Right, we'll move on. Big week coming up. 2 games. I know Blackburn had their game called off on Saturday against Portsmouth, which I'm sure Pompey fans were delighted about because some of them set off at 5 o'clock in the morning. You'd be fuming, wouldn't you? But we feel their pain. We had it the other year. We all set off for Blackburn on Boxing Day, and exactly the same thing happened. The Darwin broke its bank, and so we feel the pain. We all did it on a Tuesday night as well, so we know how they're feeling. But
Steve, what was that story? Wasn't there a coach load that were on the way to Blackburn? They found out that game was called off, so they made a detour to another game that was also called off. Can you remember what the second game was?
I'm trying to think
I can't remember. But they thought, well, we're out here, we're up here now, we'll go and see a game. So they detoured to a second town, and that game was called off. God, talk about bad luck.
Oh, you'd feel sick, wouldn't you? You'd feel sick. Yeah, I'd be fuming. I know a few of them went to. I think a few of them stopped in Birmingham, went to the Villa game. A few of them went. A few went to the Swindon game against Morecambe, randomly enough. So a few of them made their Saturday afternoon. A bit like the bus load that turned up at half time in our game. They were sat in Woodall from 9 o'clock. Bless them. A few of them made. Few of them made Uber a lot of money. I spoke to Callum. Who we all know from North Stand. He got in a Uber with 5 other lads, costing 420 quid. £70 a piece. And Cal looked at me at half time and went, Steve, I don't know how I'm getting home. I said, I'll try and get you home, mate. But let's say, because of the open end behind the goal, we all saw the bus pull in. The drivers looked buzzing. We're like, yeah, it's 4-1 already, mate. I just, pat yourself up, son. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you feel for everybody on that bus, don't you? And more so for lad who organised it, Liam McArdle. You absolutely feel for them because, you know, what can you do? You know, I mean, it's not the organiser's fault. It's just awful that that you set off so early in the morning going to a ground that you'd never been to and your bus breaks down. Yeah, thankfully they saw some of the game and they were able to get home, but yeah, not the best day that they've had, I'm sure.
No, I think I saw Liam had put on a post as well when they finally got home. He was part of the team that fixed the bus as well, so he really did have a day full of it. Had to find his hands all straight. So, but they all got to, if they stuck with it, they got to tick the ground off because they did get there. You know, the stewards let them in just after half time. So, yeah, really, yeah,
Excellent.
I'd be fuming.
Good.
I'd be fuming. But right, Blackburn. We'll start with Blackburn. You know, they've had the weekend off, but a few people said on the way home, John Don, you know, with a few days extra rest, give them a bit of an advantage. I don't think it will, to be quite honest. I think momentum is right behind us. You know, we've got players to bring back in, so, you know, it doesn't really matter if a couple were feeling the legs after Saturday, you know, the tough conditions.
Mhm.
I just fancy us to steamroll these as well.
Well, I hope so. And you're right. I mean, the Borough didn't take any chances with Hackney. He didn't take any chances with McGree, starting him, that is, bring him on for however he was on for. The being smart, they're being clever. You know, taking Ben Doak off. I know he'd been clattered in the first half when we won the penalty. But he recovered and he carried on into the second half. But again, they took him off with plenty of time to allow him to rest until Wednesday. And that's what we've got to do. We've got to manage the squad. Now, obviously, the news today about more illnesses throughout the squad, you know, with whatever Borges has given everybody. So I'm just hoping that it's Monday night now. So I'm just hoping by Wednesday we've got most of our squad back and fit, ready to go for a big game. Wednesday, big game.
It is a big game. Bit of advice, boys. Get on the Lemsip tablets, get the Vicks on the chest. A couple of days, you'll be right as rain. You know, just plenty of rest.
Couple of Jaegers, that'll do them.
Clear,
it's like Cavonia, isn't it?
If you look at Blackburn, I think the last game was the 9th of November. You know, so they'll have had,
right. Yeah.
Obviously, we've had the international break as well. So hopefully, you're going to catch them. You're going to catch them cold, and we can keep our obviously we can keep the squad, you know, away from this bug, the main players away from this bug, and we can keep that momentum going into this game on Wednesday night.
Well, that's it, and you know, I imagine Blackburn probably did watch us on Saturday, and you know, they probably thought, you know, we'll give Borough a watch. You know, let's see what we're facing against. And I can't imagine many of them being sat there after 90 minutes going, well, I'm looking forward to that. Because we were, I can't describe, put into words how devastating we were on Saturday, and we could do that to anybody in this league. And I know Blackburn have started well this season, you know, a bit unexpected by a few. But I honestly think we can do it again. I've got nothing to fear. Changes, John Don. Who would you think about bringing back in? You know, the big one between fans would be: do you stick with Bring, or do you go back to Dieng? I know my opinion. I'll wait for your boys' opinion before I say mine. I'll start with you.
I would, if he's fit, I'd go Dieng. Sol didn't do anything wrong, but at the moment, Dieng's above him, in my opinion. So you play your best team. So Dieng for me in that position.
Yeah. Do the same.
Yeah, I think definitely. You always go your strongest team where you can. Yeah, I'd go with Ian.
Yeah, I know Cuts has always said if you earn the shirt and you play well enough in the shirt, you keep the shirt, and I fully get that. I just feel if Dieng's fit, I'd be putting Dieng straight in. He's our number one keeper. He is for a reason. Not to take anything away from Sol's performance. I thought he was fantastic on Saturday. I really do. But yeah, brilliant. Before I talk about Hull, obviously I'll ask you boys for your prediction for Blackburn. I'll let you two to your score predictions. I'm going to bring something new into the mix for my prediction. So I'm going to do off my own back, fully on me. Try and get us a few quick because we were so close Saturday. It really annoyed me that we were so close. Yet someone decided to put an extra 50 pence in Borough, and we went for it again. So yeah, I'll start with you, Dally. Prediction for Saturday.
1-1.
Brilliant. Wednesday.
No, no. I think we'll win. I think we'll win 2-1.
2-1.
2-1, and I think Conway will score.
2-1 Conway. Okay. John Don, come to you.
2-0. Let they laugh.
Okay. Don't
Right,
mind me,
now
just
then.
writing these down.
Hit us with your new bet.
So I'm going to give my prediction first. I'm going to go 4-0 Borough. And I'm going to go Finazaz to get a goal again. But I'm putting a new thing in. You boys know what do I look in during games? What do I start looking for as a bet? I love a yellow card.
Keep it to get booked.
Yeah, that's one of the things I do look for. I love a yellow card. And the last few Borough games, I've absolutely nailed yellow cards. So I'm going to start picking a player. I'm going to put £2 on him. So I'm going to double it up on a player get booked. It could be a Borough player, it could be a Blackburn player. I'm going Borough player, and I'm going George Edmondson to get a yellow card. It might not win us loads of money, but I think as it builds up, it will start accumulating. So that's my new.
We just need to get we need to get a start, Jacko, don't we?
That's it. That was my thinking. If we can get a start, then once we get one, they'll arrive like I was going to say like buses, but not the bus that turned up at half time on Saturday. We don't want them. But you get one getting that. Once one comes in, many more come in. It's just waiting for that first one. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go for. But then we move on from Wednesday. We're going to Saturday, Hull. Let's talk. As we've won. 5. Would it be 5? Would it be 5 in a row? 4 in a row. 4 in a row.
Well, if we beat Blackburn, yes.
If we beat Blackburn, yeah. Let's talk like hypothetically that we've beat Blackburn. But if we beat Hull and put them 2 wins together, John, we really could be in the top 2, which is mental. If you think a month ago, there's fans questioning our method, questioning which players we played, how we played football. Calling us boring. Honestly,
Yeah.
you want to bring to the head.
Yeah, if we get the 6 points, we'd be on 38. And it's not unfeasible that could happen. I would take right now 2 scrappy 1-0 wins. Just give me 6 points anyhow this week, and I'd be more than happy. Hull not having the best of seasons, obviously. I think, are they in the bottom 3 now?
Hull, yes, they are. 22nd.
I think they are, yeah. Obviously, they made a huge financial gamble last January. I remember a lot of our fans saying, Hull are doing it, why can't we? Well, Gibbo's done that for us for years, but not to the extent where he puts our finances in such a perilous position like Hull are now. Yeah, big gamble, gambles are great when they come off, but like for Hull, it didn't pay off. The manager lost his job, and they're struggling like hell this term. So on paper, it looks straightforward, but the Championship's odd, isn't it? It's strange. And like I say, if we could get 6 points in any way, shape, or form, how we play, I'd be over the moon. I'd be over the moon, and then we can look at Burnley and Leeds with a bit more optimism and with 9 points out of 9 in this week, if we do win the two, it would give the Leeds and Burnley games a bit of leeway, a bit of a no lose if we draw them, or, so get the 6 points this week and then just see how we go against Leeds and Burnley.
Well, that's it. I mean, they're the key ones that we're aiming towards, isn't it? Them two games are really going to, for me, shape where we are. They're the ones that we're aiming for, kind of thing. I know the Mackhams are up there. I know Sheffield United are up there, but so Burnley. I don't feel Burnley have hit their top form yet as well. Going by what they've been doing. So, yeah, it's exciting. It gets 33 points after 18 games. You'd never have thought it, would you? You never would have thought it a month ago. So it's just exciting to watch. I'm proper enjoying watching the Borough at the moment. I'm not going to lie to you.
Are we on 33 or 32? We're on 33, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah. If
we're on 27
at
if we win the next two, yeah. If they win the next two,
yeah.
And I know some of the, don't ask me to pull the fixtures out. I don't know. The teams above us they've got tricky games coming. They know the score. They've got some difficult games incoming, and every game in this league is difficult. You take your eye off the ball, you can see. Look at Sunderland on Saturday. They pushed for a second, and they were punished within 30 seconds. And and just like that, 2 points were dropped. They could have been 2 clear of the rest and 7 clear of us, but they're not. And all of a sudden, two difficult performances this week, and we've jumped. We could jump them. That's how close we are now. It's exciting, isn't it? This is the proper start of the season now. Isn't it? It's the proper start. We've got nothing till March, international wise. This is the bulk of your football. By the time the next international break comes, you've played about 35 games, and you know where you're going to be. You know what you're aiming for. It's game face. It's time to get stuck into it.
Steve, you've got Daly on the starting blocks ready to jump through that wall again, run through that wall.
I'm preparing quotes so we can get a new brick wall, a new house potentially as well. So, but that's the way I'm feeling about us at the moment. I'm massively optimistic, and hypothetically, I mean, I'll ask you score predictions first, and then I'll ask my final question before I let these lovely people enjoy whatever they're doing after listening to us. I'll start with you, John Don. What are you going for against Hull?
A 2-1 win.
2-1.
And I'll go for Riley McGree as a goal scorer, anytime goal scorer.
Nice. Dally 1-1 and
3-0. Their manager to get sacked, and I think Finners will score.
3-0. Is this is going to sound harsh? Is Rob Edwards being sacked yet?
No, he beat Hull at the weekend, didn't he?
What, by himself?
Just on his own. Yeah, he dropped everyone else. He played himself.
Good to see he's returned the form. I'm going 3-0 as well. I'm going last year laugh. And I've got Aileen to get a yellow card because Aileen loves a yellow card against Yorkshire teams. It's the kind of thing he does. So
3 Ryan Giles own goals.
Can you imagine?
That's what we should have gone for.
That'll knock the scent off it.
Is he getting his game there?
Never played at the weekend. I think he's played about 10 games this season by the looks of things.
But I've not been. I mean, I think they've been on the TV a couple of times, and I know Sheffield United absolutely ripped him to pieces. So that tells you everything. But we've all gone for 2 wins out in a row. We've gone for 2 wins this week. Takes us to 33. do you firmly, one word answer from you, does this firmly put us in the fight for not just top 6 anymore, right? Top 2, or even to win this league? Does this now put us in that conversation with them big teams above us?
Yeah. I've obviously screwed up my maths because I thought we were on 32 at the moment, but we're not. We were on 27.
27.
So I'll clip that one and make it Joker of the Year. Yes. To be fair, I was listening to TalkSport today, and they were talking really well. Ali McCoist and Jeff Stelling about Borough's performance at the weekend, and they were both saying, that Carrick has got us started playing some lovely football. So, yeah, we've certainly raised eyebrows, and people are talking about us now and looking at us, and wondering how far we can go this season. So, yeah, let's keep. I mean, I know Carrick will. Carrick always keeps his feet on the ground when things are going not so well, and when things are going well, he's very level-headed, and that's that's what we should be doing as a club. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We can go mental and celebrate in May should it happen.
I mean, well, did you see what Carrick said after the out 6-2 win? His first line was, "Yeah, it was good." I mean, that's how level-headed the bloke is. Well,
he did also mention about a couple of things defensively that he wasn't happy about, which is great. You've got to have that standard, maintain that standard, and look to eradicate any mistakes at all. That's what he was brought up with at Man United. Ferguson wouldn't put up with silly mistakes, sloppiness, and maybe Carrick's doing it, but in a different style to Ferguson. He doesn't have the hairdryer out as often as Ferguson would, but it's great to see. I like a manager who's got the right principle.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he could have done what Ruben Amorim did in his first interview. Just called Johnny Evans out and said he should be doing that better. I thought it's a bit harsh, but all right. I'm glad he doesn't do that. Tony Pulis did that and paid the price for me. But Dally, have you the same impression as JD? Does that put us in that conversation for top 2 now?
Yeah, I think I said earlier on. I think that you take 6 points out the next 6, you're going into a big week. I think if you come out of that with 4 points, then you're really in the mix. But let's get past this week. Let's not get carried away. Championship's a cruel league. I think 19th positions, only 10 points below us. So, this league can change, in a fortnight. So, but let's just enjoy it. We're scoring loads of goals. We're playing some good football. The Mackhams bottled it in the last minute, and that gap's closing. So, yeah, let's just enjoy the ride.
Exactly. As much as 2 wins can put us in a really good position, 2 defeats can put us back mid-table. So we've just got one game at a time. Final question from Jason, because he's been at it all night. Ben Doak versus Ryan Giles. How many times is he getting put on his backside before he gets took off at half-time?
Well, it's no contest really. Giles's main attribute was his forward play. I think we showed last season when we played the ball around him and scored down there, how easily it was to get past him. So Ben Doak, yeah, he'd have him tied in knots. It'd be like Twister. It'd be like a game of Twister for Ryan Giles.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. One last thing I'm going to mention before I say goodbye to these lovely people. We had the pleasure of being in a great man's company last Thursday. We were going across to Western Event Centre, which, by the way, they've done a fantastic job with. He looked brilliant in there. Jeff Winter he tried to do a brilliant job keeping Tony Mowbray under his control. Failed after about 5 minutes because as soon as Mogger got that microphone, he was away and gone. But I'm sure you boys will agree how good it was to see Mogger back, talking his passion. Not just football, his family. It's the spark was back in his voice. He's giving advice to Sunday league managers. How to play the game, how he wanted to give Rob Edwards a smack around the head to tell him why are you playing a pressing game, just cut the passes. Before he could do it, it was too late. He's down to get back into it. You could just tell by his voice, the way he was speaking. He's ready to get back in. Once he's had his break, he's down to get stuck into this again. And I'll put my hands in again. If he fancies a job at the Borough, helping Michael out, I think it'd be a great attribute to have. I really do. Even for 6 months, just to guide him in the right way to get us over the line. Because, it was a fantastic night. It was proper enjoyable. All three of us went. It was really good. It was just good to see Mogger back. Not 100%, and he said that himself, but he's not far off it. And I say any club that does get him will be a massive attribute to them as well. So, fantastic.
Yeah, I spoke earlier about standards, and he epitomises that. He's got. He's a gentleman. He's just everything. He's everything you want from your manager. He cares. It's never about him. He doesn't like to sort of like take the spotlight. He'd be more than happy just to manage the team and then go home and have a cup of tea or whatever. He's just such a nice man. He really is. I can't say. I'm struggling for words to describe him other than just a downright decent human being.
Yeah, it was. He was very honest, and it was quite hard listening, I suppose, at the early part of his chat because he went into detail about his illness, but he was so honest and open. But that you could see the fire was burning again in his stomach for that passion. That passion's there to get back into it. I think any club would be lucky to have him. I think if he hadn't have been, his illness hadn't have come about, I think he'd have done fantastic things at Birmingham. If I'm honest, I think he'd have finished above Sunderland. I'm not just saying that because I'm not a Sunderland. I'm not a fan of Sunderland, but I think he'd have got the momentum. I think he had the passion to get above them, given the way that he lost his job there. So yeah, hopefully he's back in the game pretty soon, and an absolute legend.
Absolutely, he was brilliant. Yeah, brilliant to listen to. I could have listened to him all night, and quite frankly, I think we nearly did. The way he went on about his questions, it was very hard to shut up. For a guy that doesn't say many words, he said a lot of words. But yeah, he like you said, JD, he epitomises standards. He is the standard. He is the standard setter, and it just shows as well. If anybody listens to the Second Tier podcast that's out, they put a post out last week saying, who's that one manager or what one person who's liked by everyone, not just certain clubs, and they had to stop their vote because the amount of people just put Tony Mowbray. Everywhere he's went, he's an absolute icon, and he's well thought of, and he's on the road to recovery. He's not far away from being recovered. He's got a bit to go, but he's Mogger. He's super Mogger, and he proves 3 out things he can fly to the moon. He didn't do anything. I love the guy. Full respect to him. And on that note, unless you want to say something, John, before I go.
No, was I supposed to?
I thought I saw your mouth flutter. I thought he's going to say something, and I've just jumped into
No. Yeah, I will do. Yeah, tune in next week. Come and join us in the North Stand, Block 23, and subscribe, like, and do everything that Steve says in a few minutes. On YouTube and on our Twitter feed, on Blue Sky that we're on now. So yeah, just give us a follow, give us a like, subscribe. Go on, over to you, Steve.
You've done my job for me. You've done it for me. There you go. We don't do as John Don says. We'll give you all the links to Blue Sky and everything through link. We'll update our link tree for everything in there for you to get involved with us. And we'll have a chat next week. If I don't see you in the North Stand, I'll see you for a chat in a week. Arrivederci. Up the borough. Nice seeing you.
Up the borough, boys.
Up the borough. Don't sweat.